quickly, I'm going to be sharing my screen so that we'll move ahead towards what we are going to learn tonight. Okay. Of course, if you look at this, this is what we've worked on, and what we are going to be doing here is to start to create registration, where those that are successfully registered and logged in can see this page, while those that have not logged in yet will not be allowed to see this page. So let me will not be allowed to see this page. So what we are going to do first is to okay. What I'm going to do here is let me close all this. Okay, before we talk about the registration, remember the last time I talked about Django built-in user authentication, Django built-in user model, built-in user model, which I discussed the last time, on how you can use Django built-in user model. Django already have inbuilt model for you, so you don't necessarily need to be building everything from scratch. That's why Django is one of the best programming language, one of the best framework in the world, because they want to make things very easy and then to reduce the stress for you building it from scratch. So just at the same way you have your own model, so Django already have an inbuilt model for you, which is the user model. If you recall the last class, I mentioned that the user model has a pre-installed or pre-created instances that you can use if you are creating a username. And I also further elaborate more on the admin. When we come to admin here, you see the user model that already been registered. So you can see it here, the user model, which is an inbuilt by Django. You can see it's on few fields that we have here. You can see the status. We have one as an admin. We have another one as a normal user. You can also modify. So when we come to the modification, you can see already built in already built-in instance such as a username, password, which is a hash password, then the first name, last name, email address, it's active, it's staff, it's super admin. You know, these are all things that have been built by Django. And you can also see that on your if you come to your PHP admin, click on your database table. Then under you can see where we have user auth. So under that user auth, you can also see go to structure, and inside this structure you see that we have the user. See, look at the way they created it on their own model. We have the super admin, we have the username, we have the last name, we have the first name, we have the email, the stuff. So they've already created all these things for you. What you need to do is to leverage on them. Like I told you earlier the last time, but I said that we are going to be extending this Django user model by adding more extra field and customizing it to achieve the purpose that we need. I give an instance in a situation where if you want to log in with email address, want to log in with anything at all can think of, then we need to leverage on what we call abstract user. So what we are going to do first is I already created an HTML which I'm going to just copy and paste, because this is not a front end class. I'm just going to just copy and paste. So inside my template here, Inside my templates here. Okay, inside my students, I'm going to create a file called auth, right, which is a authentication auth underscore user, then .py. Confirm if you can hear me. Anybody hear me?
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Yes. Fantastic. So inside this auth.py, what I'm going to do here is actually very simple. I'm just want to create kind of a view where I can see a view that can have my template for my user registration. So I'm going to, from Django, I'm going to .view.
Are we recording?
Uh,
Are we recording?
yeah, I'm recording.
Oh,
Generic. Then we have to import uh, view. So inside this view, I'm going to just select the class of register or sign up. Sign up. So inside the sign up, I'm going to pass in my view because I'm using normal view. Then, of course, I'm going to get the get to define what define get, and if I get a passing word a self and a what a request. So I'm also going to return a render which we have not imported. So if you don't know how to import it but you know the name, can click here and then fix. Then no, there's a way of doing it. However, let me import that. So we import that from shortcut. That should be from Django the shortcut import render. You can also import redirect, can import render because I'm going to be using redirect later. So we can also import HTTP response. Then I forgot to tell you that today we're also going to learn about Django messages using Bootstrap, which is one of the things that we are also going to be doing. I want to try as soon as possible to finish up as soon as. So what we're going to do here is passing. We don't have the template here, so let's create template so that we know what we are going to pass in here. So moving to Django templates. Inside the template, I'm going to create a folder called auth. So inside that folder, I'm going to call create a file signup.html. So we'll just copy this. So inside here, I'm going to have something like uh, auth, which is this auth that we have here. Then slash sign, just copy and paste. No, I already have it. Sign up.html. All right. For now, we are going to stick with this. Then let's create what's it called? Let me just see. Um, let me just say welcome. In case it works, so I can take it off from here. All right. So I'm going to create a view. Sorry, URL for this. I'm going to create a URL for this. So under the existing URL, I'm going to come down here under beneath and say my user user auth path. So all my endpoints, all my paths for this URL, I'm going to have it here. Copy the already existing path here. Put it here. So let me import. That should be from auth user import sign up. So import that. Okay, this is what I've imported. Of course, what I'm going to do here is to change this to sign up. Change this to sign up to, change it to sign up. All right, so let's check that out. Uh, okay. Mm, let's see what's going.
You are having profile in the address
Profiles.
bar.
Okay.
Yes, yes, because the reason why I'm having this profile is because um the app is inside is the profile. I think the part is profile, so we can check that on our setting URL. You can see the part that we have here is profile, so that's where all the stuff is. So, however, that is not the reason why we should be having this issue. It seems that our server is not running, so let's check another issue. Let's check our server that's not running. Our server is not running, so we need to run our server. It said from user import sign up, no model called auth. Okay, that is the challenge that we're having here. So let's can the okay. I think the problem here is maybe this auth that we're using, maybe it is an inbuilt Django name. So let's rename it to auth or user auth.py. I think. Okay. So let's fix what we are currently having. Let's go to URL and fix. Okay, let's fix this. All right, so let's check that out again. You can see that it is working. So sometimes when you have such issues, either that you are the name of your file, it is similar with Django inbuilt name. So totally avoid that. Right, right. So this is what we have. So let's call the sign up. Okay. What we have here. Let's check that out. What name do we have here? Scroll down a little bit. So why is it taking us to that sign up? That sign up should be. Uh, mhm. Right. So why is it taking us? Mm, so why is it taking us? Does it mean that the sign up does not exist? Did exist? So what's the problem? Mm, let's try to carry this sign up up above here. Let's try to put it here and see if that is the problem. Let's try it again. Okay, I think that is the problem. That's really the problem that we're having. So we need to just bring this man down, down. All right, so that we can be able to work on what we have. Sometimes it's also important that let's see. Okay, still taking on the same place. Uh, Okay. I think the problem is these two. This two that is there. Two that is there. That is the problem. However, let me put it here. I think that will work. That will work now. I know. Okay. Missing okay template. Okay. Let's check. Okay, this is where we're having the issue. So we need to put in requests. So we need to pass in request. So we'll pass in requests here. So requests. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so we have this welcome. Then let me quickly copy my uh, let me copy my form. I already done some design, so I'll just need to copy them and then use those designs that I've copied. Just okay. Designs here. Okay, so let me paste that here. Let me paste this here. Okay, this is actually what I have here. I didn't do much work, but just the sign up design that I did. Okay, this is the design. So I have to quickly add up the style, the HTML, whatever, whatnot. So let me so right. So inside here, I'm just going to. I feel like I should use um. So I need to just put the bootstrap there. Also have bootstrap for that. I'll just go copy the bootstrap. Okay, that's what we got. Okay, so this is the design that I've already done, right? The design that I've already done. I'll just put you through on what and what I've done so that you can quickly get that because I'm not going to use this here. So not much things. So what we did here is that here we added method which is post. Of course, then we are well informed you need to add the crf token. Without that, the form will not going to work. So here we added the user name, which is username. So this username is actually a name that we are going to be calling from our front end that will help us be able to have access to whatever the user have inputted here. So we do the same thing, first name, we do the same thing, last name, then email, the password, and the second password. Now remember, this form was actually customized based on the available field that I have here, right? So the available field that I have here was actually customized based on this available field. So that's why I decided to customize this because I don't want to extend for now. Later we're going to learn how we can extend. So what I'm going to do here is that I don't want to use this thing this way. I want to just create so that I can use it both in login and other ones. So I'll just create on this static. Inside static, we'll create auth. I just create auth folder. Then inside that auth, I'm going to just create auth.css. Auth.css. Then here I'm going to put all the whole CSS here, like all the whole CSS I'm going to be using to work. Then also I'm going to the template. Inside the auth, I'm going to have header.html, so that I can use it to control. So inside the header, I am going to okay, only going to leave this here. Let me copy that down. So I'm going to copy all this HTML, all this body, loginm, everything here. I'm going to copy it and put inside the header. So I can only put blog. I can just put title, right? So that I have a dynamic title. We've done this now. We've done this before. So I also going to load static, because I'm going to link my this thing here. Load static. So sorry, load static. All right. So inside here, I'm going to link my HTML. So let me just call the link the way you want to link your normal HTML. All right. So I'm going to call here static. So inside this static is what we are going to link. We are linking from auth. So yeah, we'll say auth, which is this here that we've created, from auth, then slash auth.css, right? Auth slash auth.css. So copy this and put it here. All right. So let's just use single quote instead of double quote, so I will not have issue. All right. So we have linked this. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to extend this to our sign up. Now, if you check our sign up now, you notice that it's messed up, right? So we have to go link it in our sign up. So we'll move to our sign up, and then of course we are going to call all this and extend. Then we are going to extend to this template auth and sign up. Auth and sorry, header. Is it auth and header? What did I put that header? Oh, I didn't do that header. Yo.
The header is in the static now.
Ah, oh,
Header dot static.
we have to move it to template. So let me move it here. So I move it here now. It shouldn't be in static because it's not going to up there. If you put it in static, it's not going to. So it has to be in the template.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go back to sign up. Extend the folder name slash header.html. Now let's go and reload this and see what's going to happen. Now, if you notice that header does not exist, so we need to check the spelling again. So yeah, we have even the header is wrong. Header, all right. Oh, fantastic. So let's go and look and see. Okay, can see what we have here. We can't see anything until we need to call the variable, right? Log. So let me cut all this. I call block, then put title. Sorry.
Content.
Is it content, right? Okay, content. Yes. Content. So I'm going to put this here and they go reload. So it's either our what's it called it? Our variable name is not correct. So we need to go and check the name that we use here on our header. So let's check. Okay. We also need to call the variable. We are not creating the variable here, so let's create it block. Then check path content. Also need to do the same thing here. Content. So, all right. I think this will work now. All right, this is going to work. All right, so this is what we have here, and if you click on it, it's not going to show you anything, it's telling you error. So right, so let's go back to that sign up. Now what we are going to do next, after working on this, we are going to start writing our logic, right? Now, so when it comes here, you see what we have here. So let's first try to see how we can communicate from our front end to our back end, right? So in order to get everything that the user have typed in here, because the main thing here is to get everything that the user have typed, and then with that we can then use it to store on this field here, right? We can use it to store here. So we are going to quickly go back to let me close this. I think I'm done with all this. So here we have um, user, right? Last name. So we just need to call out the name value there, all of them. Name value, username, this. So we can quickly go back to our all.py, and then of course that should be on a post method because we are sending something to what? To our database. Or you can just copy and paste instead of typing all this. We already have it here. Then change this to post. Fantastic. So we will say here, because it's already on post, we don't need to do if request.post because it's already on post. Having this post here, it's already on what? On post. So we'll say username equals to the request dot capital letter word post. Then let me just leave this. We'll come back to it.
That post is strong.
Last name, are you there?
That post is strong.
No spelling.
Okay, request dot post. All right. So we
Do?
Abi request dot post, right? So first name, first underscore name equals to request dot what post. Then we also have email, right? Email equals to request dot what dot post. All right. Let me check another thing that we have. First name. Okay, password. Password, confirm password, password 1, password and password 1. So let's just go back there and say password equals to request dot post, then get anything, then confirm password, confirm underscore password equals to request dot what, capital letter post, then we have all this here. All right, so now we've been able to get all the requests that put down. We need to pass in the value of each of these. So we have to come here and scroll down to this. So check the name. The first name is underscore first name. You can copy that way and paste, or if you don't want, you can still that is first name. Don't make mistake. If you make mistake, you are going to have an error. Then which you can fix it. Um, last name, I guess. All right. So we are having last name, then email. Sorry, email is email. So we come in email, passing the email here. Then password, of course, we already know that one. Password is password. So confirm password is password 2, password 1 rather, 2 or 1 1. Then username is user.
With username.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly print all this and see. We have username to make sure that it's working. Print. So we have last name. We have print. So we are printing it so that we will know that it's capturing everything, right? I don't want an error. So if you are 100% sure that yours is working, so you don't need to do all these ones, because I would like debugging my code so that whenever the error is coming from, I can be able to track this error. So let's also print confirm password. All right, so we are going to move to the front end, and then that front end we enter here. So let me enter all the old names. Enter Macaulay, enter email address, enter 12345, blah blah blah. So click on sign up. So when you click on sign up, we'll come down here. Let's check our terminal. So if you check to our terminal, you notice that all those things that we filled, both the password, these are the things that we have here. So now what we are going to do next is that to see how we can store all this information on the where. Where are we storing them? Are we putting on the terminal? The answer is no. We want to store them on the database, right? So that we can use them whatever
Yes.
we need. So that's actually what we want to do now. So for us to do that, start working with that. Like I told you, Django already have an inbuilt user model what we can use in terms of creating username, right? Creating account. So which is one of the things that you have here, right? So we are going to import this man and use it. We already know this man. We already know the feed that he has, right? He has the username feed. You can see the way it's written here, right? Just the way you are writing your own model, the instance, exactly that how we're going to write it, right? If you don't know, if you can't see it, we can come to your model. You see all the names, you can just copy, right? Fantastic. Okay, so we are going to import that dude. Let's import that motherfucker and then use it. All right, so on top of here, I'm going to say from Django, dot country dot auth, which is authentication, right? Dot auth dot model, right? Import user, right? Import what? User. So this is actually the user that we have here. And so we're going to install all this in the user, but I also want you to know that in the user, remember, I have all this field here, right? So we want to install them, add them in the field. So what we are going to do here is that I'm going to just comment on this because I don't want to delete. So I come here, I'll say sometimes also good to do check, right? Like to check before you create, right? We are going to try that out to check before we create. Now we're going to say user equals to, we'll call the user that we import dot object. This is just your normal regular model, just that this one was actually created by Django. So the create, I like using create user so that I will not use save, right? Create user. But some people also use create, right? It all depends on what work for you. So here I'm going to open and close. Now we are going to be adding this information to the user field. So when they come here, we have password, right? We have a username. Let me just copy it. Or you can still write it. I know that it's almost the same thing that I did, but in order to be a safer side, put in. So this username is actually going to be the same with the instance of your user model. It's not going to be different thing, right? Always follow the approach. Then in that instant user model, which has what? This column. So inside this column, I want to store a username that the user is actually entering on my form. Remember that we are aware of getting it. All right, we did it by printing all these things. So we'll come here and put equals to, and then put user what? Username, right? Then the next one we're going to do here is the last name equals to. I believe that always confirm if it's the same thing. Mine is the same thing, it's almost the same thing. So I purposely did that so that I will not be stressing myself. Then last name. Then also have first name. Let me enter. Then put comma here. So we have a first name. That first name equals to also its same first name to avoid any error. Email. Also want to do email to avoid any error. Password. I want to do what? Password. Now the confirm password, there is no fit for it. We only use it to validate, to make sure that whatever the user is entering here and what is entering here is the same, right? So this is actually what we've done. And we can say if created, if user, that means if this is created, we can pass in HTTPS, right? Response, which I already imported. HTTPS response, I'll say user created, right? Okay, so
Yes.
let me go back and try to create the user and see what we are going to have. So I put in all this information and then try to sign up. Now, when we try to sign up, we have an issue. So who can read that the issue for us? Who can read the issue?
Duplicate entry.
Now, duplicate entry. Well, what it's trying to tell us is that the user name, we already have admin user on the entry auth.username. So what we can do to avoid this issue is very simple. We can check if the user already exists, right? And you tell the user already exists. This will help us fix what? This particular issue, right? So let's do that to check if the user is already exists. So we are still going to do, before we create the account, right? You need to check if the user already exists. You can say if they will import that user, the user that we used, update the object, the word filter. Then inside that filter, remember we have a field called the user, right? Which is this user. We'll check if user, whatever that is here in this user field. Let me do this way so you can see it. So whatever that is in this user field, if it already exists, right? Whatever that is, if it already exists, if it's same with what the user is entering on the browser. So username equals to what? Username. That means what this means that the username that is there, the value that is in that username on database, if it's equal to username that the user have entered, right? Then does exist, right? Does what? Exist. So if dot exist, then what we are going to do is we return what? HTTPS, which I'm going to stop using now. Then in a few minutes I'll start using HTTPS now. And you can say user username already what? Already taken, right? Taken. So already taken. All right. So if you come back here and try to go back to our previous and then try to create again, you can see what we have here. User already what taken. But I want to stop using this. I think it doesn't make sense for us. So I want to use Django message. Have we done Django message before? Have you done it?
No, sir.
Okay. But I've hinted on it, Abby. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what we are going to do is I want to be using Django message. And now, if you notice that sometimes in messages, when you do something that is not okay, bootstrap 5. So when you do something that is not good, you will get an error, either green, successful, red, checking the where I have this component. So either you have green, which is successful, or you have red, which is not successful. You have yellow, which is warning. We have different kind of error. Now, how do we integrate this error now into Django messages and make sure that we have the exact error? Like user taking, we also said that username already was taken. We'll see how we can be able to work on that. So what I can do here is that I'll just come here and copy the successful, right? I'll start with the successful first. So I think this should be on my okay. Let me press this and see how it goes. Let me do that and see how it look like. I'm trying to see to get a nice. Okay. I think I'll do it this way. So when you try it, you should be able to print out this error for you. All right. So what I'm going to do next is to work on Django message. So we'll just click on to Django messages. So this actually give track of all the messages in your Django. So all the messages, because it's actually using Django class, right? Using Bootstrap as a class. That's what he uses for the Django messages. So he need to make sure that we use those Bootstrap classes. There's a way Django did it that we can also make sure that it works. Now remember, every message has a level, right? A level of the message. So these things are what we call tags, right? These are what tags. They are what tags. So you can see you have tags, debug, tags info, tag success, tags warning, right? If you can say message dot tag, right? That message dot any of the tag. So these are called what tags. And the level, message level, you can see those message level. Now, when you scroll down a little, for us to be able to work with this message, you need to import what messages, right? So the messages is actually all these tags that is there, and then because the message is not one or two, we actually need to loop into those messages. So if we look at what is happening here, these are all what messages, right? So if we want to get access to all this error, we need to do what loop into those what messages, right? You can see messages. If there is message, you just look for message in message. What it means that from this message in message, then check if message dot tag. What it means that if message dot error or message dot success or message dot warning, right? You should be able to put in the tags and then moving. Now let's see how we can customize this thing, because what's it called? We are using Bootstrap, right? We need to work on the Bootstrap. We need to store the Bootstrap class based on each of the message tag, right? Now let me explain further. Now let's say in our Django message, we want to print uh, error, right? Success, right? So we need to store this class in a Django variable, assign it success, right? So in Django, we need to do some modification on our Django message. So what we need to do is go to your setting.py on your Django. I scroll down a little bit. I'll move in here, setting. So under my setting, under beneath here, I'll just import anything. Let me import it from up, so they will be like import it from up. So I'll say from Django dot message, Django dot Django dot trip, yeah. Then import what message. So remember, like I told you, these messages are a lot, right? They have their message. Now, if I come here under beneath, uh, here, and I say message tag, message underscore tags, yeah, message is correct. ESSAGE, all right. Message underscore tags, then equals to. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to modify each of the Django tag error. So let me come here and I can see that we have info. Now, for now, Django does not know that error is green, right? It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know error is success is green, warning is yellow, error is red. So we are the one that are going to tell Django using Bootstrap, right? Using Bootstrap classes. So when we come here, we'll come here, we call the message, which is this message is dot, let's say dot info, or dot error. Now in this dot error, I'm going to go to Bootstrap class and give it a class of error in Bootstrap. So let's look at what class error do we have in Bootstrap. You can tell us. Go to Bootstrap. Class of error is what? Okay, danger.
Danger.
Right. So we have to copy this class. You can see this is the class for danger. This is. We have to copy this class and come here and put what? Danger. So whenever we have a message dot error, remember error is going to show us what? Danger, which is red, right? So we put comma. I'm going to just copy and paste because I already explained that. I don't need to explain it again. So I already explained this. So if you go to warning, if you go to sources, let me remove this. If you go to info, you can also do the same thing in info. Maybe you want the user to update their profile, right? You can also use it to do that on info. Enter. Okay. So where we get all these things from is actually in Bootstrap, right? If you go to one in info danger, you know all these things. I don't need to explain that furtherly. Look at where we get all of the sources. Now, we'll be able to tell Django that whenever you have an error, right, or sources, you should be able to call the Bootstrap alert, right, which is green, to display the message should have a background of what? Of green, right? Exactly. This is actually what it means. So now we are done with this, right? So the next thing we need to do is that we need to call the messages if on our Django view. Let's say here we have if the user is already taken, right? So what I'm going to do is that I no longer want to use the HTTPS. So I'm going to remove this, comment on this. Then I'm also going to import the message here. I'll say from Django Django.country import what message, right? So yeah, I will say if the user already exists, I will say message dot what error. So if I call the when the user is already exists, I call this error. What I'm passing the message, what's going to happen here is that this particular danger I called here, right, which is this error, I already signed danger. It's going to show me a background of what? Of danger. Django already done that from the back end. So you don't need to know how it works, just follow the procedure. So I'm going to pass in request here, then comma, I'm moving here. I put user already what taken, right? So I think this is only what I will do for now. Let's test it and see if it's going to work. Now, there's no way it's going to actually work for us because for it to work, we need to call this dynamically, right? This is actually static. So how do I achieve that? Now, remember that if you come to these messages, here we have a lot of message, right? We have a lot of tags. Then we're also going to be having a lot of messages. This is not only one message that we're going to have, right? So for us to get access to all the whole messages, we need to loop into the messages and then get each of the messages, right? So we come to here later we're going to see how we can do it dynamically, but let's do it directly on the sign up. So inside here, I'm going to say, if messages, right? What message are you talking about? Now, if what these message you are seeing, so if there is messages, which is if there is messages, where is those messages? On the yeah, if there is message, right? If there is, so I just want to copy this here, so I will not go and write the wrong thing. So if there is message, so I want to put this my message here. Okay, let's go and reload and see what's going to happen. So if message, okay, let's enter, let's check and see there's an error somewhere. We can fix it immediately. So I feel that our thing has crashed, so let's try to fix it again. From django.m, interesting, setting.py, what is that? Django.m on line 15. They play. There's nothing like that. The man don't. Sorry, I
So
said.
that
Okay, don't worry.
Maybe the
Let's go. So when we come here and reload, you can see we no longer have that message, because if there is no message, right? No longer have that message. It has disappeared. It only appear if you have message, right? So now let's move ahead. What we are going to do here is that, so if message, then we are going to look into all the whole message. You can say for anything, or miss,
for
or miss, or anything mg. So for miss in messages, right? Remember, this message is actually nowhere is coming from, right? For miss in messages, so we need to copy this and bring it down, because this is where we are doing all this things now. Now for miss in messages, right? Now we're also going to do something like if message dot tags, means if if the message has tag, which is error, right? If there is a message dot tag, right, we will check to know that if there is an error, if there is message dot error, or if that is successful, right, then what we are going to do is that at that time we are going to run our error. So we go back to the place, then I'm going to come here and say if so this dot tags, make sure it's x, put only tag, it's not going to work. So we move in the images dot tag. Now what are we going to need? Remember that the tag message dot tag is actually this, right? Message dot tag is either can be danger, it can be error. So we don't need to be calling this, right? You don't need to calling this manually, because we already have it here. Scroll down here, you can see them here, right? So these are what tags. These are what tags, message what tags. So I can say message dot tag. Now message dot tag will automatically append this thing to this place. Are you getting me? We append this to this. Instead of calling it manually, we'll remove this man. Yeah. So what we are going to do here, we'll say message. We'll call this message.tags. So this message.tags will append this man here. Let me show you. Will append danger, success, everything here to this HTML here. Do we understand? Now the message, now we need to remove this one and put the message directly from Django. You put the message there. So this will give us what? The message. I hope this is well understood. It's well clear. So let's go and try it out and see. So let's leave it this way, and then okay, let's go. I think we've already fixed this. Okay, can see what we have here. Message already taken. So let's go and check it out and see what we didn't do well. Okay, we need to return, right? So if there is an error, so let it return back to the form, right? Let it return the user back to the form. So all right, so let it return the user back to the form. So let's enter and then put in here. You can see what we have here. User already taken. So if you come back again and enter, the user already taken, right? Now we need to do this. This thing should be in a different page where you can only come and include it. So let's do it, please. Very important. So let's copy all these, and then we can only go and include it. Copy it. We only include it here. So let's do it. Let's put it here. Then we can see inside the templates. Oh, where's the template? Okay. So let's say, what is all this now? Okay, what's happening here? Okay, you can say django underscore, or you can see message dot html, right? So I paste it here, right? So let me go and include it. So I'll come here and say include. Oh, okay, let me try. No, let me try. I was thinking that let's include it here. I think maybe it will inherit the HTML, CSS that we have here. Let me load and load. Okay, include Anna. Okay, but not the name now, not the Yo, I'm trying to do nothing. Okay, all right. Include. Let's go and try that again if it's going to work. Message doesn't exist. Okay, we need to put auth auth/. All right. Okay, let's try. All right, we still have the same thing. So that's how you can modify. So the next thing I'm going to do is, so play around with this. Just play around with it. The next thing I'm going to do here is come to that auth. I'm going to check the password, right? So I'm going to check if the password. I'll say if password not equals to confirm password, right? If that being the case, then we are going to copy all this. We are going to copy all this. So I will say password not match, right? Password not what match. All right. So if I come here and reload, then put another password, then we enter, you can see password what not match. That means the password does not match what we are creating. I think I also need to do the email. Check the email if already exists. All right. You guys will do that one. Do that one later. So what I'm going to do now is also, if account has been created, let me copy this. Now if account has been created, I want it to redirect to either to log in, to go and log in, right? And now I don't have login yet, so I will say return redirect, right? I'll just pass in the login, but I don't have login yet. Login. Or I would say let him take it to home, like the home URL. Let me call this home. So let's take it to this place. All right. Oh, God damn it. Okay, home. Let me just go and type it there. Home. All right. I will say account created, right? Account.
It should be message or success. Is this the error again?
Is it?
Message is just error. Is this going to be error or
No,
success now?
success. Success. Sorry. Success. All right. Account created. Then he redirect us to the home page. So let's go and create an account. I put 30. This to make sure that I have the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So sign up. They say Django. Django model Rumble has no attribute X. So where do we have that from? Oh, sources. They confirm this sources. If it is this sources is correct. Message dot sources. Okay. Message dot sources. Invalid syntax. Okay. Okay, let's try that out. Okay, let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. Okay. We have created that. Where is it taking us to? No, this is not a place I want us to take us to. It's taking us to a different place. I can't create it. Taking us to a different place. It should be taking us to, where is the profile now? Taking us to a different place. Sorry. Okay. To take us here.
Home view.
You take us to home view. All right, fantastic. I also want to close some of these things. All right, okay. So what we are going to do here is put it in home view. So I also want to include the message in home view so that I can be able to track the message also on the templates, that home template. So I'm coming on the cohort. That should be home page. So in that home page, I don't know where to even put it here. So I don't know where to put it down to do. Still thinking where to put it in that home page. Is that? Is that?
After the
Okay, let me put it here. Let me put it.
line 18.
Let me put it somewhere here. I'll just include. So in that include, I think I'll read on that. Let me just copy it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. To help me track the. So let me create another account. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also check the length of the password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also check a lot of, you do a lot of things. Anything you want to do at all. You can see what we have here. Account what created, right? Now we have a problem now. What problem do you have? Even though account has been created, we need to log in, right? We need to learn how we can log in. So we need to just log in, and we also don't want users to be able to have access to this if they have not created account, right? So whenever they come in here, try to type in this profile. It should take them to the login if they have not logged in yet. So we've created account. Now, how do we see our account that we created? If you come here and reload, you can see that we've created many accounts now. We created different accounts, right? That's all the whole account that we created now. You can see it here. All the email that we've created. So passwords, we only check in. You can also check email to only use only one email. The same process that I did can also do the same. So the next thing we are going to do, this is how you can create a very simple sign up page for your app. Then very, very simple. It's very seamless. No much code we are writing, just very simple. So the next thing I'm going to do next is login. So we'll move into login next. Then before we move into logout, I want to keep it very simple and straightforward. Then as time we'll call it a day for today, right? So move into login, right? So to do that, I'm going to scroll down here, and then I have my class, then have login, after the login. So inside my login here, I'm going to have my views. So inside my views, I'm going to first have define get, then passing self, then request. So inside this request, I'll copy this, put here. So I'm also going to put here login. I'll go create it now. Login, that is all. So let me create the view, the URL. Let me create the URL. So I'll just copy here. So here I will have login. So let me also import the login as well. All right. So we have login. So yeah, I have login. All right. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll come to auth sign up. So I will save as login. Login. So let me go here and try to access the login. So slash login. Okay, you can see what we have. So I'm going to get rid of some of this that we don't need. So I'm going to remove first name, I don't need it. I'm going to remove last name, I don't need it. Email, I don't
You
need
only
it.
need the username.
Yeah, username and password. So then username and password. I don't also need this password. Then I think for here, sign up with Google will be logging with Google. Login with Google. So Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Deputy President there.
Yes, sir.
Dep
I'm here, sir.
okay, assignment, please.
Hello.
Can you hear me? I say
I can hear
assignment.
you.
Yeah, this is the
All
assignment.
right.
So now, oh, God damn it, hold on. I went to Ambubu. One can remove what I should not, I supposed to remove. Okay, let me just check. Oh, what did I even touch? Oh, I want to touch my head here. Okay. Let me start from up. Okay, yeah, I'll have login. So yeah, I have get rid of this. Don't know what I did that stabilized all this one. So let me make sure that everything is fine. Okay. So I just need to remove confirm password. Confirm password. So I also need to remove this. Okay. So Mr. President, this assignment. So they are each cohort, each group. Are you getting me? Each individual group will create an endpoint that in this app now. Remember, we are doing our creation manually, right? So they also need to build an app that can be able to sign up with Google, sign up with Facebook. So we click on sign up with Google. It will take you on Gmail. You understand what I'm talking about now. You see it on some of the advanced websites where you can sign up with Google, sign up with Gmail, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, so they should.
Yes, sir.
If we come to login now, login with Google. When you log in, if you already created an account, you can log in to your account without verifying your this thing. Then the same thing goes to sign up.
What?
Yes. What do you call it? Somebody mentioned said something earlier.
What?
Yeah, auth, yes. So you need to work with auth, or auth or auth. So you need to that um this assignment the defense for this assignment is the last defense. That's the last assignment for the year. So we'll defend this assignment on 16th. That's the last assignment for the year. And our last class will be on 20 our last class will be on 21 of December for the year. So on 16th, that'll be our last defense. Our last class will be on 21, which is Saturday. So everybody must do their assignments and deploy on GitHub. The presentation now is individual presentation. I repeat, the presentation is individual presentation, not group presentation. So if we don't see you there, and I will personally take records of this presentation. If we don't see you there, it is what it is for you. We have to remove you from OTS. All right, so let's fire down. So now I'm going to start working on this login. Start working on this login. So we've already done that. Let's build the logic. Let's go and build the logic. So, and there's not much things I'm going to do here. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. So I'm going to just copy. I'm going to just copy this. I'm a lazy type. I don't like typing. All right. Okay, let's write our logic. So the first thing we need to do, as usual, we already have it here. Copy this. Copy the password. So also need to copy password. Okay. All right. Okay. So we need to first authenticate the user to make sure that the username and the password the person is entering is correct, right? We need to do that. That's what we need to do. We need to first import what we call authentication. So the authenticate is actually what it does is I will explain that. So we have to import one thing from django.contrib dot auth authentication import authenticates and then import login. I'm going to explain this and then import logout because we're going to use logout too, right? So these are the inbuilt Django model classes, right? So now this authenticate, what authenticate does is that authenticate collects, accept two arguments. It will compare the username that you are entering, right, with the username that's on the database. Then they compare the password that you are entering with the password on the database. Then if that is true, then they're going to log you in successfully. If it is not true, right, it's going to tell you invalid username or password, right? Then bring you back to the same page. So let's quickly work on that. So we are going to come here and say user. They say user equals to the code authenticate. So in this authenticate, we are going to pass in a request, right? Then we're going to pass in the username the person is entering, the username on the database, then compare to the username which is here, right? Then also do the same thing with the password, then compare to what? Um, the username, the password that we are having here, right? So now we can say if the username is not null, like if this man is not empty, right? Right? If username, if the user here is not what null, if it's not empty, so what we are going to do is that if it's correct, what we are going to do, we are going to log in the user. You can say login, um, log in the user. So when you log in, it creates a session for you. So what are we logging in with? We're logging with request, and then we pass in the username and password, which is this that have been authenticated, right? So this automatically will check if this is correct, right? So we check the if. It can also do if the user, right, means that if it's not null, then this should happen. It should log you in. Then in a situation where it's false, right, we need to use s. Then we're going to do you can also come here and say message. When they log you in, then we should give you message uh message dot sources. Then we'll say request, then we'll pass in the message. You can say login successful, uh, login successful, welcome back. Then you can say call the username. You can say can call the username. So I can decide to use F function here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So yeah, I can call the user. I did I even call this F function? Okay. Login successful, welcome back username. So if it is null, if it's wrong, I can say message dot error. I also need to redirect them. Message dot error. Let me just message dot error. Then put in request. Then I put in the message. I can say Um, username or password is incorrect, or anything. All right. So if that is it, then it should return the user back. So you should return the user back, right? I think this is actually very simple. I will still go through it, and so this is all. Let me try to log in with the correct password. So we're having correct object has no attribute pk. Have we created how we call this one? Which one be correct object has attribute? Quarantine attribute has no pk. Request the user. Why are you having this? Okay, let's check it out. Let me inspect the code. Um, let's see what we log in. Login request. Let me see what I'm passing here. Hmm. So okay, if get session, if not user. Okay, try to get the session. So what does this mean? Come on, I get set upon the thing now. Let me give this ChatGPT and see what the problem is all about. What this is all about. This so then let me give him the code so that he can detect where the error is coming from. Yeah, is the code because for me I didn't see any error on the code. The code is fine. So what did he say? Description goes okay. I think that's a problem on my authenticates. Okay, I added 2A here. All right, have you seen it? And no, regardless, there is no way I can be able to discover this issue without AI. I added 2A here, it's supposed to be 1A. Okay, let's remove that. Uh, okay, all right. So let's go back here. Authenticate. Uh-huh. Okay, so charges, thank you very much for telling me tonight. All right, let's fire down. So let's try to log in again. So he said is returning null. So what is returning null? Our program is turning null. That means it's not returning response. Let's check. So which of the this thing is not returning response? Uh, let's check. Not giving us the result line. Okay, however, let's check. Let's inspect our code and see who is that man that returning null. Okay, this is the man returning null. So we need to redirect, right? Return redirect. So we are redirecting it to profile. So to the dashboard. So where is that? I think I do that before. On view, right? Yes. Okay, let me just bring this one. Okay. On view. Okay. Okay. Login successful. Welcome back. I can say login what successfully. Welcome what? Welcome back. And the another problem is that there's no way we can log out, right? And how do we know that we've logged in? Now, if you want to know that we log in, it's actually very simple, right? To know the user that log in, you just need to come to here. We just find a way to do it to know the user that logged in. Move into that profile, which I think is home, right? So inside that home, you can do something like welcome to portal. I can say welcome username. I'll just say welcome. Yeah, I'll put variable. So just passing request the user. So requests. Request the word user. So this request the user will now tell you the current user that have logged in. So you can see the user that logged in is what is admin, right? So that means welcome admin. That means that's the user that have logged in, right? So now next thing we're going to do, we are going to add the logout. So I'm going to just add logout here so that we can log out, right? Another thing also I want to do is that, okay, let me add the logout first so that we can do that. So to add logout, I think I already done that logout something. Let me just get it and move on. So so what I need to do is just copy. I already have that logout. So those that need this file, like my HTML, today class, to go to our this in page. What's the name?
Discord.
Discord. Go to our Discord page. You see it there. I'll upload it on Discord page. So I'll just come here and put this here. The form, just logout form. So this is the form I'm using for logout. So when you click on this, you're going to log you out. For now, it's not going to work until we finish. So let's create our logout view so that user can be able to log out and log in. We go to auth. Inside this auth, so here I'm going to add the logout. So I'm going to create a class of logout. Then we have view. Then inside this view, we have define get, because the get report, the get request. Then we'll put in self and then what request. So that request, we have logout. So I already imported logout. I told you, look at the logout. I already imported it. You say why imported login? I imported logout. So logout, we pass in request, and then we also return this. So when you log out, just take it to the login, right? That's all we need to do. So let's create the view. Create the view. Sorry, URL. So here I'm going to copy. The last class we're going to look about the email verification and the OTP. So last time we're going to look at email verification, like reset password. We are going to learn reset password with OTP. Then also on the other project we are going to build by January, you are going to learn reset password with a link. So to reset password, when you register, verify your email. They also look about user authentication and permission, right? Where we can restrict user access if they are not qualified. So we just play around with this class think that what we're going to do next class. That's on Wednesday, God willing. So let's use logout. System logout. Okay, let me import it. Logout they give me. Oh, okay. All right. So logout, log out. All right. So let me just take this logout and then come to here. Then so inside here, I'm going to add URL. So I'm going to have this at the URL. All right. So let me go and enter, then click on logout. So you can see logout was successfully. Now let's go and access this again. Now the problem we are having here is that anonymous, right? Anybody can access this, which is wrong. Are you getting me? We only want the user that have logged in to access this information. And also, if are you getting me? We only want the user that have logged in to access this information. So what we are going to do is actually very simple. The Django have what we call uh, login required. Login what required, right? In Django. So we have for we have um function views and we have for class-based views, right? They are not the same. So it's more or less of uh, what is it called? It's I'm trying to check that login required. So let me search for it. So you can see, have you seen it here? So you can see if I use function-based views, right? All you need to do is to put at login. So whenever the person comes, it redirect the person to what? To login. We call it the corrector. So we also have the same thing on class, but class own is different. I think class own is called what's the name of that one? The class of trying to remember the name, remember the
If you make documentation, just check.
yeah, it should be login required too. Look at it here. So when using class view, you can achieve the same behavior using what? If you're using function based view, you are using login required. If you're using class based view, you're going to use login required maxim, right? That is the class you are going to use. Then look at how to use the class here. It's actually very simple. You put it where? You put it inside your what? Your view of the page where you want the user to log in required. Then you pass in the URL where you want to redirect them if they did not log in, right? So let's quickly do that. So we are going to import this from Django Crowdtree, import this. So let's quickly import it and then use it. So we are actually doing this inside the view of profile, right? So where is that view of that profile? There is the view of that profile. Let me look for it. Okay, this is a view here. So I'm going to import from Django.country, right? Then sorry, auth, dot at dot mark, then import login words required maximum. So we are going to put it here. You be the first, right? Then followed by the view comma. Now another thing is that one, if the user did not log in, right, it should redirect them to what? To log in. So we are going to do here is that we call login URL. So we move equals to, they will pass in the login name, right? Login name. So we have to move back there. Where's that man? The login. So now we are not currently logged in. So let's go back and try to access this man now. You can see they are now redirecting onto what? To log in. So if we try to go back again and try to access, you can see we can't access that man. Even though we try do anything we try, we cannot access that man. Then we can just log in. Now you can see what we have here. Welcome back, right? So if you log out and then we try to access it again, you cannot access. So you need to what? Click on what? Login. So let me review the code once again, and then so that I'll call it off for today. That's actually what I want to teach tonight, so that it will not be too much for us to understand. So I want to do an overview of the code that we've done tonight. Who can do an overview for us? Anybody can do an overview for us. Let's see if we are following up. Can anybody do an overview for us? The guy. The guy. Now, fire down. Start from the registration.
For registration.
Yeah.
Okay. We created the function of sign up. We passed our parameter. Then inside that class, we are defining the function, the class function, which has to start with send. Then we are passing request as well. Then we are returning the template which we want to render to users, which is sign up with server. Then we are checking if the method used in that sign up with server is post. And if it is post, then we get the request from the user. That is why we are passing the request. Then what are the things we are getting from the user? We are getting username. We are getting from the username, the name in the template. The same thing happens to last name, which we are getting from the last name of the template, and so on and so forth. Then we are using the logical operator here to check if the password we are having in our database is not and the one and the second password if the password we are getting from the user and the second password we are getting from the user are not the same. If that should be the error message should be passed to the user. It's meaning that the password does not match. Then we have to turn the user to sign up page so that they can start the process. Then again, we are using logical operator if to check the user model in our database, filtering it using the username and user value to contest whether the username we are getting from the user corresponds to the one we are having in our database. If that should be the case, that is not exist. If that should be the case, then if that should be the case, then error. So if that is not the case, then error.message. We have to pass error.message to the user that user has already taken. Then return them back to the sign up page. And here we are creating a variable called user, then using the user model object, which we are creating a user model object, new user model object with the following functions now, with the following variables we are getting, with the following details we are getting from the user. Something like username, last name, first name, email, and password, and saving it to the database. Then, for getting everything, then here we are in line 33. We are checking if those users information are there, if it is intact, then a message should pass to the user that account is being created. Then we return it to the home view, which I believe to be the last page is detail, or a view in which user can see maybe home view or something. Then the index page. Two of that. That's all I.
Okay, that is wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Can you elaborate more on the login?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
In the login, we create a class, class view as well, and we pass in the image, our parameter rather. Then we are creating a function inside the class function. We are passing the cell as the requirement, then the request of the user as the second parameter. And here we are returning and rendering a login to the user page. So in second function, class function, which we are assuming to be a post function. So which must be a post function. If it is a post function, then we have to get a username and password and store them in both variable username and password. Then in line 61, we are creating a variable in which we want to use to check if the details, which is the username and password, correspond to the one we are having in the package, which we are checking the authentication if they match, if we actually have the same data in our database. If that should be the case, we are saving that function inside the variable called username. And in line 63, we are checking if that user is not empty, which is if it is not empty. And if that is the case, if it is genuine, which is not empty, if it is genuine, then we are logging in the user by calling on login method.
Do you explain this authentication? This authentication will check if the user and the password
name
is the same.
Correspond with the one, yes. Correspond with the one we are having in the database.
Exactly. Okay, good.
Now, after that, we are checking if the user actually exists. If the user is actually contain the data we actually needed.
Yes.
If everything goes along, contain the data we actually needed, then we are logging the user in. Then the message will be displayed to the user that login successful, welcome back. And the name of that user that is logging in, then we have to redirect the user to home. If that is not the case, then a message of error will be displayed to the user that either username or password is incorrect. Then we are returning them back to the login page in which they can try it in the process.
Okay, fantastic. So the logout.
This is very direct.
Okay.
We create a class called logout with our parameter which is then we are creating just class function. The class function and the first parameter must be saved. That is the procedure. Then we are passing in our request. Then if our request is there and everything is intact, then we are just logging out a current time in user. Then the message will be displayed. If the user that you have logged out successfully, then we redirect them back to the login.
Okay.
You can log in again.
Let's go to setting.
All right. In setting, we create a message tag. And in the message tag, we are setting message tags to our preference, which means a message dot error, which is an error message. Then we want it to have alert or danger, which is when we are using our bootstrap, that is the as we are going to use. And the second one is success. We are using alert as the success as the tag. Third one is message warning. Now we are using alert just warning as the bootstrap tag. We want to use in our form content. And the last one is info as well, which is alert info.
Okay. So let's go to template. I think we did something on the template. Message. Can put us through on this.
Okay. In this message, we are actually stepping in the message in our views. And if that should be the case, we are looking through the messages with the for loop. Then if you are looking through it, each of the messages come one after the other as we are looking. Then we are now checking if the message, we are checking for the message tag on each loop. And we are setting the message according to the message tag in each loop. If the message we are receiving from each loop is warning, then the message that will be displayed with exact tag, because we are using the tag tag as the one we set in the settings earlier.
Yes.
As our bootstrap alert. So whatever the tag that is coming is what is going to display through the bootstrap. If it is danger, we are getting from the tag, then our bootstrap will be red. If it is warning, I think that should be yellow, and if it is success, that should be green, and so on and so forth. So here we are just looking through the messages and displaying them to the user according to the tag.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. So let's go to last one, and the go to the home. Can you explain this on this?
Of course, yes. Here is just I'll call it a pizza. Django pizza. It's a class, actually, a class of home view. It means in our home template, maybe a landing page that display everything we have there, that have the logic of
Just that login requirement and login URL.
That login requirement is actually making sure that before that page can be viewed or displayed to the user, that user must log in to the system. It must log into that application. If that is not the case, it will redirect the person to the login segment of the page to log in first before the page can be displayed.
Okay. All right. I think that is all that we've done tonight. And I believe
I know I won't miss one.
Is it?
I know I won't miss anything.
Oh, no.
I said I knew I won't miss anything.
Yes, you're right. But it's actually very simple. More practice to know that notice that it is very
That guy you miss you.
What did you miss?
The guy went on the class with that. Yeah.
What did you
I
miss?
just of things alarm at my messages. I didn't use this to stop.
I think, sir.
Yes, what
He
did
was
you
supposed to suggest to you that you should show sign in if the person is logout and kind of that guy you miss.
You should be signing again if the person is like that.
I've had to go.
Okay. I'm putting in this on Discord now. So those that on our Discord and those that is it on Discord? Is it on Discord or Slack? Which of them?